You know when you can't write, that thing called writer's block that some writers say doesn't exist? Well, I have that right now. I tend to have writer's block more often than not, unfortunately. Some may think that I'm lying. Okay. I mean, there was a point where I came up with a lot of stuff within a week. There's stuff that I just pulled out in like 2 seconds a day. But sometimes the creativity is just lacking. There's nothing going on up here. I just want to lay down, take a nap or something. I just don't feel like writing, or really nothing comes to mind. And so for days like this, where I can't figure out what to write, this is what I do in order to get the juices flowing. So one writing exercise that I do is to come up with maybe like 6 words, write them down, and then I'll set a timer for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. And I try to use every single word in that list, and I just do a free write, see what comes up out of that. That normally gets my brain working a lot. Sometimes I come up with something good, sometimes I come up with pieces that I can use for something in the future. And that's a really good exercise to at least write something if it's not a project you're already working on. Another thing you can do really is just to free write, no words that you have to use. Just sit down and write something, and maybe you make an observation, you look around your room, just write about something that's in your room. Go outside, write about something you see outside, and that can get you to start working on something, whether or not it's a project you need to work on or you just need some help to start writing something. Another thing that I start doing is watch a movie. Usually if I'm trying to figure out something to write that's horror, from the horror genre, or like something supernatural, a thriller or something, I would just pop in a movie and start getting ideas. When I started working on my novel, my gothic horror novel, I started watching a lot of gothic horror movies and some shows that I found. And I started like taking notes of the different elements that they had, the different ways that they created suspense, how the director would set the scene, all pretty much. I would just analyze what I'm watching and see how I can use that for my own writing. So one thing that's really helpful is to just sit down and watch something for the type of genre you want to write with. Like if you want to write a rom-com, you can pop in some rom-coms and get some ideas like that. Another thing that I do when I have writer's block is to read. You might think, how is that going to help me? Why would I read when I'm trying to write? Well, the best way to really get ideas for your writing is to see how other people do it. Like I said, with watching movies, you can pick up a book and start reading that and getting ideas, and see like the same thing that I said with the movies, see how a scene is set up, different themes they use, whatnot. That's really the best way to really get ideas for writing, is to analyze, look through other people's writing. The last thing that I do when I have writer's block is to put on some background music and just start writing. I know YouTube, I have a playlist on my YouTube where I have different videos that are like half an hour, multiple hours long, where it's just background music, it's instrumental music. So you just play that and start writing. There's one that I really like listening to. It's a thunderstorm track, and I would get like really good like ominous scenes written out when I listen to that one. I might put that playlist on public so other people can listen to the various tracks that I have saved. But like I said, there's a lot of them you can find on YouTube. You just play it in the background and just start writing for as ever long as the track is, or as long as you need. like I mentioned before about how people think that writer's block isn't really a thing, I disagree. I mean, if you have no creativity going through your mind right now, like at a time, and you try to sit down and write, you can't come up with anything, you can't produce anything, you're blocked. You feel like there's nothing really that you can do to fix that. So these are the ways that I try to get over writer's block. Feel free to write down how you get rid of writer's block down below. And I know this is a quick video. I don't feel like there's much to say about this. I mean, I don't have like 10 tips that I normally do, it's just like a few that work for me. So like I said, if you have your own, feel free to tell me about it, tell other people about it. And until next time, bye.